Hello everybody, Braveheart here, and I am going to go ahead and go over another tutorial for Dwarf Fortress. This is mainly just some very basics and basic control and UI layout, explaining what everything in the UI does, or at least a general overview, but that will probably be multi-part. But this one, we are going to go over what is down here, what is in this section down here. Hopefully you guys get to know what's going on and what each button does. So let's get into it. Okay, the first button is the Set Digging Orders button. This one allows you to create dig stairwell, ramps, channels, and designate things to be removed. If we go ahead and click this and you see a wall you want to mine, just go ahead and click and drag and click again to get it situated. I do have the game paused right now, so none of my dwarves are going to be doing anything, but this is how this functions. Every single functionality runs like this, except for this one. Oh, also, if you want to get out of this menu, just right-click and it'll get rid of that. But this one right here requires you to click, drag, and then you can use the mouse wheel scrolling up. Go up on the mouse wheel goes up, down on the mouse wheel goes down. If you do not have a mouse wheel, I believe there is a key binding. I will be right back to tell you what that key binding is. Okay. I had to re-record this because of weird things, but we'll go ahead and go back over this. Dig, this button is the dig, and it just digs things. It allows you to dig, create stairwells, ramps, and channels, and to remove the ramps or channels. This is the erase tool. It allows you to erase any designation you have made. We'll go ahead and just go over that now. Staircase requires you to hover over and then use E or C to go up or down, or you can use the scroll wheel to go up or down if you already have one. And it makes up, down, and up down staircases. So if we go down 2, you'll see this is an up down staircase. But yeah, we'll go ahead and erase all of this stuff. We don't have the designation. Ramps or slopes, it used to be designated for R. It's designation for R for ramp. This creates a ramp. This right here is a ramp. You would channel this out. You would create this, and then you would be able to go into the area above it would be visible, and it also channels out the roof, I believe. Either it does or does not. I do not remember if it does or does not. I will test that out at a later date. Channel is the opposite of ramp. You would designate an area, and then it would cut out a channel in the area. It's also going to be used to remove flooring, natural flooring, and all that other stuff. Oh yeah, that's that section of the button. We will then go on to tree chopping. I will be right back when I found some trees. Okay, I have found some trees. I have some in this bottom right-hand corner of my map. And it seems I also have some in the upper right-hand corner of my map as well. But what you want to do is if you want to just cut down trees, just set the trees to chop, and then just click drag. Trees have been designated chop. I do not want these trees designated chop, at least for right now. The set plants gather is the same thing, does the same exact thing. Stone smoothing, engraving, track crafting, and fortification creation. This is what this is. This is carving out a fortification. This is required to smooth out any natural stone wall. Do know that this is a loam wall, which is a type of dirt. We have jet wall, and if we designate that, that can all be smoothed out, as well as any floor as well as wall. This only engraves onto smoothened walls, if I remember correctly. Yeah, into smooth walls. That means that you cannot engrave constructed walls, if I remember correctly. Card tracks to a stone floor. This also needs to be on a smoothened floor. And then the fortification needs to also be constructed on a smoothened wall. So all of these can only be done for smoothened walls. Fortifications are these arrow slits. Think of these like little arrow slits on a castle structure that you see where you can see out, but no one can really fire back at you from inside, that kind of situation. So that's this section. Next, we will go over this section after I go back to my dwarves. Okay, I'm back near my dwarves, and if you really want to go back to your dwarves really quickly, the default hotkey is F1 to teleport back. So that's a little bit of a quick tip right there. All of these are your workshops, your furniture, your doors, your what you can make in the constructions, your machines, cages, traps, military, and your trade outpost. A lot of these will probably get their own dedicated video, but just for reference here, this is where all of your construction, all of your furniture, anything that you are going to pretty much create out of raw materials is going to be here, at least in the sense of building structures and all that. At least, or place building structures down, because I think the archery target needs an archery target or a block or something like that, and weapon rack needs a weapon rack, that kind of thing. So next button. Okay, our next button is the stockpile button. This is a very useful button to know. This button is very useful. These are at least the basic things, and I will be going over more details in a later episode on what all you can stockpile, how to customize them, and all that. Usually on your first one, you'll probably have it set to all. I would probably not recommend that because there are ramifications for doing that. But that is, at least for now, what it will do. You can also have it set to none. There's nothing gets put in here. If you need to delete the stockpile, you can remove it permanently, which I would just remove it permanently for now. And then we'll go off to what the little green button does. Okay, the green button is your zones. The tutorial will probably give you a much better location of what this actually does, but for a general area, you click on one of these icons to figure out what you want to make. We'll say we want to make a meeting area. And then you click and drag, and there's your meeting area. Meeting area done. You can go ahead and accept, and done. You now have a meeting area. For me, I'm going to go ahead and remove this because I don't want this here, but that is how things get situated, and that's what most of these buttons do. On to these next few buttons. Alrighty. This button is the barrows. Barrows allow you... Oh, I actually have a barrow here set up by accident. Let me go ahead and remove that so that you guys actually know. So the barrows pretty much allow you to designate areas where your dwarves can stand, do work, and all that other stuff. This is a very useful tool to have in case you want to designate what your inside of your fort is and what the outside of your fort is. Because if you don't, dwarves will just run around willy-nilly and cause accidental oopsies, as I like to call it, when they decide to run around and do all that other stuff. On to the next button. This next button designates how minecarts function. This is the minecart tracks. You have Route 1. We can add a stop to this minecart track. I do not have any tracks, so this one will definitely be going into more detail when I actually have minecarts set up. But that is the minecart button. All right, next is this, which is our designation for figuring out what dwarves will be using as their primary mode. This is the high traffic. This means most of your dwarves should be using this at all costs. This is a high traffic area. Dwarves should be using this. The normal traffic is what it's set to. Low traffic is for very few dwarves should be using this pathway at all possible. And then the none is useful for dwarves should never be passing through here. This area is restricted. No one goes through here. No one comes through here. That's it. This is also very useful for in case you have a minecart set up, because minecarts go really fast, and a dwarf on a minecart track could end up there could be a very sad fate at the end of that minecart track. All right, next we'll be going over what all these buttons do. Most of these actually designate what functions on items, such as we have a claim forbidden item, which we don't have any forbidden items, but we can go ahead and forbid some items that are in the cart right here. This forbids them. This means that this cannot be used by your dwarves at all. No one can use this item if it is forbidden, except for certain NPCs or creatures that could come around, just yoink, take it away. This just unclaims that. This sets up for a dumping, which we saw over here. There's these garbage dump, which if you have one of those set up, this will that you can do this and have that all get dumped into one spot. This removes that dumping designation. Melting and any smelter. This is used for any excess metal items that you may have so you could set them all to be melted. This just removes the designation. This removes any hidden. Hidden is useful if you don't want to see a bunch of stone lying around. Your dwarves will still be able to see it. I don't even think this actually works on... No, this only works on items. But yeah, that is that in the bottom section. That will be it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. Do like and subscribe if you actually enjoyed it. Do leave a comment on anything else or for anything else further down the line if you need any questions answered. There on any of these items, what can be done, what cannot be done, and all that. Next, I will be going over more of the UI just so that we can get that out of the way first. But some of that will not come into play until much later into game. But I want to go ahead and get the basics over with those later. But that will be next episode. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys later.